My dad was an onion farmer, and we lived in an old shack, an outhouse. And I remember when I was like, 16, old enough to drive, I'd take a girl on a date, and I was afraid to bring her home because I was afraid she had to go to the bathroom because we had this outhouse. And when my neighbor kid was coming over to see me, I had it stocked with tomatoes, and they got kind of rotten and everything. The better they are, rotten. And because I knew that he would sneak up on me, and when I did, I'd open up a bunch of rotten tomatoes, and we'd have tomato fights and stuff. My imagination just went crazy. It was a good life. I remember as a little kid, just riding behind a team of horses and stuff as he was on what they call a board, which is just something to break up the clods, and I'd ride on there behind my dad, and he'd be holding the reins. He had a hard time with my artwork thing because he thought it was a waste of time. My mother was an artist. She was a really good artist. I still have a painting she did. She won a fountain for the Boise grade school when she was 13. She really wanted me to be an artist, and like herself, but she had to go work out in the onion fields with my dad. And, earwigs crawling down her neck and everything. Just, they'd pull up an onion, there'd be 1,000 earwigs in a pile right under one of them. They had an art show in Walla Walla, and I entered this painting at the art show. Adam West is here, who was the original Batman, and wants to buy your painting for $450, $450. I brought this money home, and I brought it home. The first thing I wanted to do is show it to my mother, because that's pretty good for painting, back then. He come home, put the horses away. He come in, he walked over to that table, and he said, "Where'd all this money come from? Where'd all this money come from? Your son just sold a painting for $450. And my dad, he couldn't believe it. So he was a believer.